the top news stories of the hour. Now, in another revelation, the son of prominent Sikh community leader Hardeep Nijjar, who was killed in June this year, has disclosed that his father, Hardeep Nijjar, maintained regular contact with Canadian intelligence officers in the months leading up to his killing in British Columbia in June. Now, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau informed the House of Commons about this case, which we all know now, which he says is credibly linked to India. Now, India has denied those absurd claims, calling for more evidence to be put out so that India can carry out its own due action in that particular matter. But Balraj Singh Nijjar, who's 21 years old, the son of now slain Hardeep Nijjar, shared that his father had been engaging with officers from the Canadian Security Intelligence Service, meeting once or twice a week, including just days before his fatal shooting on the 18th of June. Now, these meetings commenced in February this year and intensified over the following months. Additionally, Balraj Singh Nijjar, the son of Hardeep Nijjar, 21 years old, revealed that he himself attended a meeting between his father and the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, the RCMP, in the previous year, during which particular meeting they were made aware of the threats against Hardeep Nijjar's life. Now, as a precautionary measure, Hardeep Nijjar, according to the son of Hardeep Nijjar, was asked and advised to stay at home. Hardeep Nijjar was an outspoken advocate for the Khalistan movement, which seeks an independent Sikh homeland in India's Punjab region. He was fatally shot by two masked assailants in the parking lot of Surrey's Guru Nanak Sikh Gurdwara, where he served as the president. Now, Prime Minister Trudeau informed the Parliament that the intelligence services were actively investigating quote-unquote credible information pointing to a quote-unquote potential link between the Indian government and the murder. Now, India's government has firmly denied these allegations, dismissing them as absurd and motivated. But over the years, Balraj Singh Nijjar, he recounted that his father had received numerous threatening messages urging him to cease his advocacy for Sikh independence. These messages including ominous statements like, if you don't stop talking about Khalistan, we'll come and kill you. We know where you live. We know the Gurdwara that you go to. We know where your family is. The usual threat lines were followed. Now, although these threats were consistently reported to the police, neither Hardeep Singh Nijjar nor his son Balraj Nijjar concealed their beliefs, their feelings, because they felt they were protected under the Canadian law. They believed they were exercising their own freedom of speech and were not involved in any wrongdoing. Now, adding another layer to this narrative, Gurpatwant Singh Pannu, a US-based spokesman for the group Sikhs for Justice and a close associate of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, has also disclosed in a recent interview this very week that Nijjar had approached Canadian authorities inquiring about the possibility of wearing a bulletproof vest in the weeks preceding his killing. According to Gurpatwant Singh Pannun, Nijjar made this inquiry in April or in May, is what he is quoted as saying in that interview, and the agencies responded that they could not provide such protection to him. Moreover, Nijjar had informed Gurpatwant Pannun a year earlier that Canadian authorities had in fact alerted him about a threat on his life, with notification notification occurring shortly after the July 2022 shooting, wherein the death of Ripudaman Singh Malik, who had been acquitted in the 1985 Air India terrorist bombings that had come into the fore. Now, this is what we're picking up. Another revelation. The son of prominent Sikh community leader Hardeep Singh Nijjar, he's come out and said and disclosed that his father, in fact, did maintain regular contact with the Canadian intelligence officers, especially in the months leading up to his killing.
No, not in that meeting. It was that was not a bilateral meeting. It was a meeting of a number of countries, and it did not come up in that meeting. But we have engaged with our Indian counterparts on this issue and urged them to fully cooperate with the Canadian investigation. I don't want to preview the conversations he will have in that meeting, but as we've made clear, we've raised this. We have engaged with our Indian counterparts on this and encouraged them to cooperate with the Canadian investigation, and we continue to encourage them to cooperate.
The engagement you had with the Indians, do you see sense of cooperation from them?
I'm not going to I'm not going to speak to our private diplomatic conversations.
Well, so Matthew Miller over there, not really divulging the right kind of information, but has said that we have urged our counterparts to cooperate with the Canadian authorities on this one. Meanwhile, why it's important to look at how the United States is posturing itself is because External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, he is in Washington DC and he's going to be engaging with a number of delegates. Now, Jaishankar and Anthony Blinken are expected to meet, and that meet will be held amid the ongoing diplomatic crisis between India and Canada. Apart from Blinken, Jaishankar will also meet United States' trade representative, Ambassador Catherine Tai, the White House officials and members of the US administration, business leaders and think tanks as well. Although officials from both sides were silent about the agenda of the meeting, the diplomatic crisis between its traditional ally Canada and now India is expected to come up prominently during the talks. And well, next up, take a look at this. The 22nd Law Commission, in its report, has opposed reducing the minimum age of consent from 18 to 16. The recommendation comes over a raging debate on criminalization of adolescent sex under the POCSO Act. Now, the POCSO Act 2012 criminalizes all sexual activities for those under the age of 18, even if there is consent between the two minors. The minimum age of consent for sexual intercourse was raised from 16 to 18 years in November 2012. But in the recent past, the higher judiciary as well as civil society organizations had raised concerns over the criminalization of consensual relationships between adolescents, raising concerns over the rise in the number of cases under the POCSO Act where consenting adolescents engage in sexual activity. The Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, urged the legislature to review the age of consent under the 2012 Act.
We have finalized the report on POCSO Act, and the other report we have finalized with respect to online FIR.
And we submitted the report will be released today.
Report we have finalized and we have sent it to the Law Ministry.
So on both the agendas the meeting happened, but on the third agenda, one nation, one vote.
One nation, one election, we found that some more work is required to be done, and we are still in the process of finalizing the report.
Well, so the Law Commission, it was the 22nd Law Commission, D.Y. Chandrachud has come in and he's urged the legislature to review the age of consent under the 2012 Act. Now, why is this important? Because in the Law Commission's report, ladies and gentlemen, it has opposed reducing the minimum age of consent from 18 to 16, which was earlier changed back in the year 2012. Now, this particular recommendation of the 22nd Law Commission panel comes over a raging debate on the criminalization of adolescent sex under the POCSO Act. According to the POCSO Act 2012, it criminalizes all sexual activities for those under the age of 18, even if there is consent between two minors. The minimum age of consent for sexual intercourse was raised from 16 to 18 years. Now, in the recent past, the higher judiciary as well as various societal organizations, civil society groups, they've raised concerns over the criminalization of consensual relationships between adolescents, raising concerns over the rise in the number of cases under the POCSO Act where consenting adolescents engage in sexual activity. The Chief Justice of India, mind you, D.Y. Chandrachud himself, he's observed this particular case. He's given his particular ruling, and he's urged the legislature to review the age of consent under the 2012 Act. But more importantly, in the Law Commission's report, it has opposed reducing the minimum age of consent from 18 to 16. So, as of now, status quo is going to be maintained. The minimum age of consent remains 18. According to the Law Commission, it's opposing the reduction of the minimum consent age from 18 to 16. It says that it must stay at 18. Meanwhile, those advocating for it to be reduced to 16 are basically saying that there is a lot of criminalization that happens because of the POCSO Act. The POCSO Act that criminalizes all sexual activities for all those under 18, even if there is consent between two minors whilst undergoing sexual intercourse. The minimum age of consent for sexual intercourse is right now at 18 years. And those who are advocating for it to be made 16 is because, well, there are concerns over the criminalization of consensual relationships as well. Two people might undergo a consensual sexual intercourse, but they might not be 18 years, and that ends up becoming a criminal act. That is what people are, from both sides of the fence, are arguing at the moment. But at the moment, the voice that is going to be heard, the Law Commission itself, it is reduced. It has opposed the reduction in the age of consent from 18 to 16. Right now it stays at 18. It was earlier 16. It was moved to 18 years back in 2012, and it seems like it's going to be there for the near future. We're shifting our focus to some other domestic political news as well. Several farmers' groups in Punjab announced a 3-day rail blockade in Punjab starting from the 28th of September in support of their demands, which includes a financial package for the losses caused by the recent floods, a legal guarantee for a minimum support price, and a debt waiver as well. Now, farmers in Punjab's Amritsar, led by Kisan Mazdoor Sangharsh Committee, announced a rail roko protest at noon over their demands, and they've also added that farmers from Haryana too are going to extend their support in the farmers from Punjab's protest. Now, the decision was announced by Swaran Singh Pandhe, the Kisan Mazdoor Sangharsh Committee General Secretary, following a meeting of representatives of 19 farmers' bodies, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we're picking up. Several farmers' groups in Punjab, and that's not all, not only in Punjab, farmers' groups from Haryana are also going to lend their support, because all these farmers' groups collectively have announced a 3-day rail roko, a rail blockade in Punjab starting from the 28th of September. All of this to support their demands. And what do they want? 3 demands that they're making. The demands include a financial package for the losses that were caused by the recent floods. We all saw what happened in Punjab. In that list of demands, secondly, is a legal guarantee for the minimum support price, which the Punjab farmers for the longest time have been demanding now. And of course, the third and final demand on their list was that farmers in Punjab's all their debt is going to be waived off as well. Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, shifting our focus here, take a look at this one. Horror being reported from Ujjain. In a deeply, deeply distressing incident reported from Ujjain, a 12-year-old girl who had been brutally assaulted walked a harrowing 8 kilometers, knocking on doors in desperate need of help, only to be heartbreakingly ignored by the residents. The shocking CCTV footage of her ordeal, where she was found semi-nude and bleeding, has shaken the conscience of many after it was circulated widely on social media. The survivor is now receiving care at a hospital in Indore. The crime has sparked outrage and calls for justice. A suspect is in custody and a special investigation team is on the hunt for the perpetrator. The incident has also sparked political controversy, with criticism of the state's law and order by the Congress and Trinamool Congress. In Ujjain, ladies and gentlemen, complete outrage and cacophony. All of this because in a deeply distressing incident, a 12-year-old girl who had been brutally assaulted, who had to walk a harrowing 8 kilometers, knocking on doors in desperate need to help, only to be shooed away, only to be heartbreakingly ignored by the residents. And then the CCTV footage that has come out. The CCTV footage that explains and describes this 12-year-old girl's ordeal, where she was found semi-nude, bleeding. That particular CCTV footage, which has already gone viral on social media, has shaken the conscience of many. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, all our heads should collectively hang in shame. Because only after things are widely circulated on social media do we wake up. The survivor is now receiving care at an Indore hospital. In terms of the investigation, the crime has sparked outrage, calls for justice, but a suspect is in custody, ladies and gentlemen. We've made inroads when it comes to the investigation and probe, and a special investigation team, an SIT, is on the hunt for the perpetrator. The incident has also sparked political controversy. Let's not forget, how can we expect our politicians to not gain political mileage out of this? With criticism of the state's law and order by the Congress party and the Trinamool Congress party.
स्वास्थ्य उसका स्थिर है, ठीक है। पूरे इलाज की चिंता की जा रही है, इलाज चल भी रहा है। उज्जैन की प्रतीत नहीं हो रही है वो बच्ची बाहर की प्रतीत हो रही है, क्योंकि वो ठीक तरह से बता नहीं पा रही है अभी, इसलिए काउंसलर लगाए गए हैं, चाइल्ड स्पेशलिस्ट लगाए गए हैं कि वो ठीक तरह से जवाब दे दें।
अभी खतरे से बाहर है?
बिल्कुल
सर, उसकी माँ का कुछ पता चल पाया है कि
अभी वो ठीक तरह से जवाब दे नहीं पा रही है बच्ची, और इसलिए मैंने बताया कि स्पेशलिस्ट और काउंसलर दोनों ही लगाए गए।
ये समाज में गिरती हुई संवेदनशीलता के स्तर को बताता है। कानून में ये प्रावधान है कि अगर कोई पॉक्सो विक्टिम है या कोई ऐसा बच्चा है जो पॉक्सो का विक्टिम बन सकता है, वो किसी प्रेडेटर का शिकार हो सकता है, तो उस तरीके की स्थिति में किसी भी नागरिक का ये कानून के द्वारा उल्लिखित एक कर्तव्य है कि उसको इस घटना की जानकारी पुलिस को देनी होगी। इस मामले में जिन लोगों ने ऐसा किया है वो निंदनीय है, भर्त्सनीय है, और जिन लोगों के बारे में पता चले डेफिनेटली पुलिस को उनके अगेंस्ट एक्शन लेना चाहिए। फिलहाल इस बच्ची की वेलबींग को लेके हम डीएम को लिख रहे हैं, उसकी मेडिकल स्टेटस की रिपोर्ट मांग रहे हैं और उसकी सोशल इन्वेस्टिगेशन, इंडिविजुअल केयर प्लान इत्यादि की जानकारी मांग रहे हैं। एसपी को हमने लिखा है, हमने एफआईआर की कॉपी, बच्चे के स्टेटमेंट की कॉपी और घटना का ब्यौरा एसपी से आहूत किया। देखिए, हमको समाचार पत्रों के माध्यम से जानकारी मिली, फॉर्मल इनफॉर्मल सोर्सेज से पता चला कि फिर उसको किसी साधुओं ने बचाया। कुछ लोग कहना है कि एक वृद्ध महिला मंदिर से आ रही थी, उन्होंने उसकी सूचना दी, और कुल मिला के अभी तक जो समाचार पत्रों में प्रकाशित जानकारी हमारे पास है, हमने उस आधार पर नोटिस मध्य प्रदेश सरकार को किया है। जब जवाब उनका आएगा तो हम आपको उस जानकारी से अद्यतन कर पाएंगे।
महाकाल थाना क्षेत्र में एक बालिका के साथ दुष्कर्म की घटना,
उज्जैन जिले के थाना महाकाल अंतर्गत हुए घटनाक्रम जो कि 25 तारीख को पुलिस को सूचना प्राप्त हुई थी। इसमें जैसी सूचना प्राप्त हुई थी, बच्ची का तुरंत मेडिकल कराया गया था, और क्योंकि बच्ची बता पाने में सक्षम नहीं थी वो कहाँ से थी, तो इसके लिए एक काउंसलर भी स्पेशली बुलाया गया था, जिसने बहुत ही अच्छे से बात करके काफ़ी जो अहम पहलू थे वो निकाले। मेडिकल के आधार पे इसमें कायमी की गई, और कायमी के बाद आसपास शहर के जितने भी टेक्निकल साक्ष्य हम लोग संकलित कर सकते थे वो हमने किए, जिसके आधार पे प्रमुख तौर पे एक ऑटो चालक को अभिरक्षा में लिया गया। उससे जब पूछताछ हुई, पूछताछ में कुछ महत्वपूर्ण तथ्य सामने आए, जिसमें प्रमुख तौर पे जो बैक सीट है उसमें कुछ ब्लड स्टेन्स पाए गए, और पूछताछ के दौरान उसने बताया कि घटना दिनांक को, घटना समय पे वो जो फरियादिया है या जो बच्ची है उसके साथ वो था। इसके बाद भी बाकी भी उसको बैक ट्रैक हम लोगों ने किया, और अभी तक की जानकारी में ये पता लग गया है कि बच्ची कहाँ की है, और बच्ची सतना की है, और वहाँ पे एक कायमी थी जो कम्युनिकेट की गई है। इसमें जो उसकी गुम होने की तारीख है वो घटना से सिर्फ एक दिन पहले की है, तो इसमें जो लगभग टेक्निकल और जो परिस्थितिजन्य साक्ष्य हैं सब एकत्रित हो गए हैं, और जल्दी इसमें बाकी खुलासे भी किए जाएंगे। इसमें अभी तक 5 लोगों से पूछताछ की जा रही है, जो घटना समय, घटना दिनांक, घटना स्थल के आसपास, बच्ची के आसपास थे या उनसे उनकी बातचीत हुई।
Well, now meanwhile, Bharatiya Janata Party National President Jagat Prakash Nadda and Union Home Minister Amit Shah on Wednesday night reached to Jaipur, well, to chair a meeting with the core group of Rajasthan Bharatiya Janata Party to discuss the upcoming assembly elections in the state. Earlier, the Prime Minister was also in Jaipur. Now, according to party sources, during this particular visit, Home Minister Amit Shah and BJP President Naga are going to be holding a meeting of the BJP Rajasthan core group to strategize about the elections and gather feedback from state officials. In this particular meeting, ministers and members of parliament are expected to discuss about the contesting assembly elections. Additionally, preparations are underway for 4 to 5 members of parliament to contest the upcoming elections in Rajasthan. Union Water Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, who attended the meeting, highlighted meaningful discussions on various subjects, expressing his willingness to follow the party's directives as well. Jagat Prakash Nadda and Amit Shah in Jaipur. Certainly, right after the Prime Minister is the Union Home Minister and the BJP National President that make their way to Jaipur. Several members of Parliament that are slated and expected to fight and contest the upcoming assembly elections in Rajasthan.
चुनाव से संबंधित सभी पक्षों पर विचार होता है। लंबे विषय, चुनाव कोई सामान्य विषय नहीं है। और जब पहली बार माननीय राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जी, माननीय गृह मंत्री जी के साथ बैठे थे, सारी परिस्थितियों पर, स्थितियों पर, सब पर चर्चा हुई। अलग अलग क्षेत्रों पर भी चर्चा हुई है, इश्यूज पर भी चर्चा हुई है, चुनाव का किस तरह के समीकरण बनेंगे उस पर भी चर्चा हुई है, वर्तमान सरकार के हालात पर भी चर्चा हुई है, वर्तमान सरकार के खिलाफ जो समाज में मुद्दे हैं, प्रदेश में मुद्दे हैं, मतदाताओं के बीच में जो इश्यू हैं उस पर भी चर्चा हुई है। ये सरकार सबसे भ्रष्टाचारी सरकार है, उसके भ्रष्टाचार के विषय पर भी बहुत विस्तार से चर्चा हुई है। और इन सब चर्चाओं के चलते हुए आने वाले समय में चुनाव को किस दिशा में लेकर जाना है, किस तरह से लेकर के जाना है, इन सब पर हमने बात की।
Well, so the Bharatiya Janata Party's National President JP Nadda and Union Home Minister Amit Shah have made their way to Rajasthan, and a lot of members of parliament that are now expected to contest the upcoming assembly elections as well. Next up, a story that again tells us that this in fact isn't a country for women. A video showing a man assaulting a woman from Nagaland in Gujarat's Ahmedabad has gone viral. In the video, the woman, we've of course had to blur the visuals to maintain decorum for what can actually be thrown on air for the consumption of the public. In the video, the woman is dragged by the hair and her clothes were ripped. The police said they have verified the contents of the video, which appears to have been shot outside a spa. Now, they said the victim is being counseled by lady cops and that she is yet to file a formal police complaint as well. The 4-minute long video shows a man, apparently the owner of the spa, and the woman who works there as a masseuse having a heated argument. Take a look. Those are visuals on the screens that you can see. An owner and apparently the other masseuse, where they're having a fight right outside this alleged spa in Ahmedabad. Woman, a Naga woman, dragged by her hair, her clothes ripped, a heated argument. Take a look at that. Complete assault that's happening right in front of the CCTV footage. Now, she is being counseled by the lady cops. No formal complaint that has been registered by the woman so far. Next up, shifting our focus to news coming from Karnataka, the electronic city, Bengaluru, that we all know and is world renowned for its IT hub. All the techies go there. But come rain, it turns into a swimming pool, and as soon as the clock strikes 6:37 p.m. in the evening, traffic snarls is something that you'll have to get used to. Now, Bengaluru faced massive traffic with vehicles stuck on roads for hours on end on Wednesday, many of which faced breakdowns as well. The outer ring road, the ORR area of the Bengaluru city, was the worst hit, as people complained they had been stuck there for over 5 hours. The development came just a day after the Bengaluru Bandh, called by the Karnataka Jala Samrakshana Samiti, an umbrella outfit of farmers and Kannada organizations. Take a look at these aerial shots of the traffic snarls. Many people who were heading out of the city due to a long 5-day weekend starting from, today onwards. Eid Miladun Nabi, which is a gazetted holiday, is going to be celebrated today. Now tomorrow, on the 29th of September, the city will be shut as protesters have called for Karnataka Bandh over the Kaveri water dispute, followed by Saturday and Sunday. So a huge and long weekend. October 2nd is Mahatma Gandhi's birth anniversary, which is also a national holiday. So you can see in these pictures, in these visuals, how people are just leaving Bengaluru and going. And yesterday, I think it was a little bit too much for the roads and the administration to handle. Traffic snarls, people were stuck there for 5 hours on end. The Joint Commissioner, Traffic Police of Bengaluru, said in a statement that there was unprecedented traffic on Wednesday evening on the outer ring road area, the ORR area of the Bengaluru city and its surrounding areas. Ripple effects were felt till late on in the evening. People who had set off from their office at 5 p.m. ended up reaching home after 11 p.m. That's a lot, ladies and gentlemen. And next up, we're going to shift our focus, ladies and gentlemen, bringing you another story from Punjab this time around. The Punjab police have arrested Congress MLA Sukhpal Singh Khera in an NDPS case. Now the arrest followed raids at his bungalow in Chandigarh. Officials from the Jalalabad police station raided Khera's Sector 5 residence early in the morning in connection with an old case that was registered against Sukhpal Singh Khera. Now Khera went live on Facebook during the raids, and it showed the lawmaker in a heated argument with the police. In the live video, which was recorded by one of his family members, Khera can be heard asking the police for a warrant and inquiring about the reason for his arrest.
ਸਾਨੂੰ ਰਿਮਾਂਡ ਅਪੋਜ਼ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ
ਕਾਹਦੇ ਡਿਸਟ੍ਰਿਕਟ ਦੇ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆਪ ਵਾਰੰਟ ਦਿਖਾਓ ਜਰਾ
ਆਪਣਾ ਆਈਡੀ ਕਾਰਡ ਹੀ ਦਿਖਾ ਦਿਓ ਚਲੋ ਇੱਕ ਮਿੰਟ ਇੱਕ ਮਿੰਟ ਯਾਰ ਇੱਕ ਮਿੰਟ ਚੱਲੇ
ਪੰਜਾਬ ਸਰਕਾਰ
ਮੁਰਦਾਬਾਦ ਸ਼ਰਾਬੀ ਮੁਰਦਾਬਾਦ
ਦੋਸਤੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਆ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੰਗਲ ਦਾ ਰਾਜ ਬਦਲਾਖੋਰੀ ਦਾ ਰਾਜ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਭਗਵੰਤ ਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਮੁਖਾਲਫਤ ਕਰਦਾ ਆ ਮੇਰੇ ਖਿਲਾਫ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਮਹਿਤਾਬ ਮੇਰਾ ਬੇਟਾ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੰਪਰਕ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ
ਮੈਂ ਆਵਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਮਿੰਟ ਹੁਣ ਪੁੱਛ ਤਾਂ ਲੈਣ ਦੋ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਆਵਾਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਾਂ
ਬੇਟੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਆਉਣੇ ਪੈਣਾ
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਜੋ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਮੈਂ ਉੱਥੇ
ਦੱਸ ਦਿਓ ਨਾ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ
ਕੋਰਟ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਚੱਲਿਓ ਰਿਮਾਂਡ ਲਓਗੇ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਅਦਾਲਤ ਕੋਰਟ ਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਾਪਾ ਮੈਂ ਆਨਾ ਕੋਲ ਦੇ ਦੇਣੇ ਆ ਬੈਠੋ ਸੁਪਰੀਮ ਕੋਰਟ ਦੇ ਆਰਡਰ ਦੇ ਖਿਲਾਫ ਅਰੈਸਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਚੱਲੀ ਹੈ
ਅੱਜ ਸਵੇਰੇ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਮੈਂ ਸਮਝਦਾ ਨਿੰਦਨਯੋਗ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰਦਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਾਰਵਾਈ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਕਿਸਾਨ ਵਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਚੇਅਰਮੈਨ ਸਾਡੀ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਸੁਖਪਾਲ ਸਿੰਘ ਖਹਿਰਾ ਜੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਐਮਐਲਏ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਘਰੋਂ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਸਵੇਰੇ 6 ਵਜੇ ਗ੍ਰਿਫਤਾਰ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ। ਮੇਰੇ ਵੀਰੋ ਤੇ ਭਰਾਓ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਫਸੋਸ ਦਾ ਗੱਲ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਕੋਈ ਅਰੈਸਟ ਵਾਰੰਟਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ। ਦੂਸਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਅਫਸੋਸ ਹੈ ਯੂਟੀ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਉੱਤੇ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਯੂਟੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਇਹਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਟਲੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਐਂਟਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਜੋ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਐਸਐਸਪੀ ਚੰਡੀਗੜ੍ਹ ਕੋ ਇਜਾਜ਼ਤ ਲੈਣੀ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਫਿਰ ਜਿਸ ਸੈਕਟਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਰ ਸੁਖਪਾਲ ਸਿੰਘ ਖਹਿਰਾ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਘਰ ਸੀ ਉਸ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਸਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਦਾ ਐਸਐਚਓ ਨੂੰ ਅਰੈਸਟ ਵਾਰੰਟ ਕਚਹਿਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿਖਾਣੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਲੋਕਲ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨਾਲ ਜਾਏਗੀ, ਫਿਰ ਹੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਅਰੈਸਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ। ਅੱਜ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮਸ਼ਹੂਰ ਹੈ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਭਰ 'ਚ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਤੀਆਂ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਆਪਣੇ ਇਨਹਿਊਮਨ ਟ੍ਰੀਟਮੈਂਟ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਹਿਊਮਨ ਰਾਈਟਸ ਵਾਇਲੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਅੱਜ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹੀ ਰੰਗ ਆਪਣਾ ਵਿਖਾਇਆ ਜੋ ਹਰ ਰੋਜ਼ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਜ਼ਿਲ੍ਹਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਸ਼ਹਿਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੇਖਦੇ।
पंजाब के सीएम भगवंत मान का शराबी चेहरा और उनकी पार्टी को बेनकाब किया सुखपाल सिंह खैरा ने। पंजाब में किसी के साथ भी कभी कोई धक्का होया या सरकारी जैसे आज हमारे साथ हुआ है या किसी ड्रग्स ओवरडोज करके किसी की डेथ हुई तो सुखपाल सिंह खैरा ने वहां पे जाके उनका साथ दिया, उनका समर्थन किया। यस करेक्ट। एक एनआरआई दी कोठी दे जब कब्जा हुआ, आप सब जानते हैं उन्होंने कैसे एक एनआरआई परिवार को उनका हक दिलाया। जब पंजाब में रह के आप पंजाब, पंजाबियत और सिखों की बात करोगे, सरकारों के खिलाफ बोलोगे तो उसका ये सरकार आपको मेडल देती है। मैं पर्चा नहीं मानता। ये पिछले 5 सालों में मेरे फादर की दूसरी अरेस्ट है, तो ये सच बोलने का नतीजा है।
कौन सा मामला है जिसमें बताया जा रहा है कि अरेस्ट किया गया है उनको?
ये एक 2015 की पुरानी एफआईआर को इस्तेमाल किया गया है। उसी एफआईआर में हमें कोर्ट ने हमें समन किया था। सुप्रीम कोर्ट में हमने उस ऑर्डर को चैलेंज किया, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने उस ऑर्डर को क्वॉश किया। आज किसी ने मेरे को बताया कि जी गुरदेव सिंह की स्टेटमेंट, गुरदेव सिंह को तो अरेस्ट हुए 8 साल हो गए, 10 साल की सजा, 20 साल की सजा में से वो 8 साल काट चुका है। उसका बयान 2015 में लिया गया और उसके बयान को चलते आज 2018 में अरेस्ट किया गया। बड़ी हैरानी वाली बात है। जो कानून है वो सबके लिए बराबर है। पहले हम रिमांड डिपोज करेंगे, उसके बाद रेगुलर बेल में जाएंगे और उसके बाद जब हमें हाईकोर्ट जहां तक जाना लड़ना पाया हम लड़ाई लड़ेंगे। इनको अगर लगता है कि हमें हमारे खिलाफ पर्चा दर्ज करा के हमें डरा के धमका के बिठाया जा सकता है तो वो गलत है। वो सुखपाल खैरा को जानते नहीं।
खैरा साहब 78 दिन अंदर लगा कर आए और माइंड उनका क्लियर है कि हमने जब कोई गुनाह ही नहीं किया तो हमारे ऊपर किसी प्रकार का कुछ हो नहीं सकता। हाँ, ये जो वेंडेटा पॉलिटिक्स है, कुछ दिनों की परेशानी है, वो तो रहेगी, लेकिन अल्टीमेटली फैमिली को भी पता है और जनता को भी पता है कि खैरा साहब इसमें पाक साफ होकर बाहर निकलेंगे। और जो इसका केस है मैं आपको थोड़ा बताना चाहूंगा कि व्हाट इज दिस केस। मार्च 2015 में एफआईआर नंबर 35 पीएस सदर जलालाबाद एनडीपीएस एक्ट अगेंस्ट 10 लोगों के खिलाफ हुई थी। ये 10 लोगों के खिलाफ 2015 में एक एफआईआर हुई थी, एफआईआर नंबर 35। उसमें खैरा साहब का कहीं पर नाम नहीं था।
ये पहली बार गिरफ्तारी नहीं हो रही। ये इनके 5वें विधायक जो पूर्व मंत्री गिरफ्तार हुए, पहले के 4 मंत्री इनके गिरफ्तार हुए। इनके उप मुख्यमंत्री शायद आज भी जेल में हैं, ओपी सोनी। तो निरंतर आम आदमी पार्टी वहां कांग्रेस के जो नेता हैं उनके खिलाफ जो मुकदमे उनको निकाल कर उनको परस्यू कर रही है। अब ये तो राहुल गांधी, खड़गे साहब, सोनिया गांधी ये तय करें कि इन्होंने समझौता रखना उनके साथ या कैसा समझौता है। यहां पर इन्हीं के लोग अरेस्ट किए जा रहे हैं। वहां पर जो इनकी पार्टी के एलओपी हैं, लीडर ऑफ अपोजिशन है बाजवा साहब, वो तो कह रहे हैं कि इस बार 13 सीटों पर हम चुनाव लड़ेंगे और उसके बाद हम सरकार बनाएंगे। 32 विधायक वो कह रहे हैं कि मेरे संपर्क में हैं। तो ये जो मुंबई के अंदर, ये जो बेंगलोर के अंदर, ये जो सिर्फ मुंह दिखाई के लिए फोटो ऑप के लिए जो काम करते हैं, उसका जमीन पर कहीं कुछ हो नहीं रहा। जमीन पर आपस में लड़ रहे हैं और ये इंडी लैंड्स इसी प्रकार का है कि वहां बड़े नेता फोटो खिंचवाते रहे, नीचे नेता लड़ते रहे।
Well, so the political furor is going to continue in Punjab. News 9 will bring you all the latest details. We've stationed our reporters on the ground. We're going to bring you the latest. Meanwhile, the big show at 10 p.m. today, ladies and gents. Duologue, TV9's MD and CEO Barun Das in a candid conversation with business tycoon and philanthropist Narayana Murthy and Sudha Murthy.
Mr. Murthy, 25% of our population is below the age of 15. How do we make them involved in this growth story?
The leadership at all levels, in the country, they have to embrace good values, but it will still take some time.
I think we are not nurturing and leveraging 50% of our strength, which are the women.
Yeah, one of them has to step down and do that.
If you had donned the seat of chairman, maybe by now Oxford or Cambridge would have had chairwoman as a legitimate English word.
Duologue with Barun Das, featuring N.R. Narayanamurthy and Sudha Murthy. World premiere on Connected TV. Tonight at 10. Only on Newsline Live. India's first and only digital exclusive English news stream for Connected TV. Supported by Alliance Broadband.
Well, to all the viewers out there, catch that premiere today at 10 p.m. across the News9 Live Mediaverse and our connected television as well. But coming back to the top stories at hand, fans of international comedian Trevor Noah were left absolutely disappointed after his show in Bengaluru was cancelled last minute due to technical issues. Several fans on social media complained that the show, which was expected to begin at 7:30 p.m., began nearly 30 minutes late. The show then ended abruptly after many audience members couldn't hear anything because of bad acoustics at the venue. That's Trevor Noah's tweet on your screens, ladies and gentlemen. Dear Bengaluru, India, I was so looking forward to performing in your amazing city, but due to technical issues, we've been forced to cancel both shows. We tried everything, but because the audience can't hear the comedians on stage, there's literally no way to do a show. We'll make sure all ticket holders receive the full refund, and that's something great coming from Trevor Noah. And again, I'm so sorry for both the inconvenience and disappointment. This has never happened to us before. Well, Trevor Noah, even as I'm reading this, apologetic tweet, I'm reading it in the same tonality and tone with which Trevor Noah would deliver his jokes and sarcastic lines. But nevertheless, all the money is going to be refunded. He says he's going to do it again in Bengaluru. Well, we'll have to wait then. Moving on, the Indian Navy has given a sneak peek into the crucial P-8I surveillance aircraft. Now, the P-81 is known as the game-changer aircraft for the Indian Navy, as it has played a key role in carrying out surveillance in multiple areas of Indian interest, from the high-altitude areas in the Ladakh sector, revealing the level of Chinese build-up along the Sikkim-Bhutan sector during the Doklam crisis, and frequent surveillance of the foreign warships and research vessels along the Indian Ocean region. Now, the aircraft is also known as the Guardian of the Indian Ocean region, as it has flown more than 44,000 hours in the last 10 years to carry out surveillance over the Indo-Pacific. The Indian Navy operates 12 of these planes, with plans of acquiring 6 more of them in the near future from the United States. You know what? We were earlier talking about a reduction in the age of consent. Take a look at this other story. India's elderly population is rapidly growing. It is projected to surpass children by mid-century, leading to an aging society. The UNFPA's India Aging Report 2023 shows the elderly, which is 60 plus years of age, will increase from 10.1% in 2021 to 20.8% by the year 2050, with over 36% of the population being elderly by the end of this century. This shift is noticeable since 2010, as the population below 15 years has decreased. States like Himachal Pradesh and Punjab already have more elderly than the national average, while states like Bihar and Uttar Pradesh are below the national average. Now, the elderly population's growth is accelerating at an age, and an aging India is certainly on the horizon. News of festivities, ladies and gentlemen. Ganesh Chaturthi. A vibrant and beloved festival in India, it's nearing its conclusion on the 28th of September with the grand Ganesh Visarjan, where devotees bid farewell to Lord Ganesh by immersing his idols in water. This ritual symbolizes the hope for his return the following year. Now, Ganeshotsav is celebrated with immense enthusiasm across various states in India, including Maharashtra, Gujarat, Odisha, Uttar Pradesh and Karnataka. While some choose to perform Visarjan after a day and a half, 3, 5 or 7 days, the final day of the festival holds special significance, as it is believed to mark Lord Ganesha's return to his heavenly abode. Mumbai, in particular, witnesses spectacular celebrations. We've seen it all, haven't we? And this year, Mumbai police have made extensive arrangements for the Visarjan. Now, they've deployed 18 additional commissioners of police, 25 deputy commissioners. We're also learning that 45 assistant commissioners of police, along with 2,866 police officers and about 16,250 police personnel, have been deployed on the ground. In addition, a special reserve police force, the SRPF, a quick response team, the QRT, and rapid action force, the RAF, all these units and home guards have also been stationed at crucial locations. And to enhance security, CCTV footage, surveillance and drone cameras will monitor the proceedings. Furthermore, Mumbai boasts 73 natural immersion sites for Ganesh idols and an additional 162 artificial lakes that have been prepared for this very purpose alone. Ganesh Visarjan, saying goodbye to Lord Ganesh so that he can return the following year, as we bid farewell to Lord Ganesh as he moves on to his heavenly abode. Green revolution, green energy, green sector. The word green, we're talking about it so much. Take a look at this. M.S. Swaminathan, known as the father of India's green revolution, he's passed away at the age of 98, ladies and gentlemen. He played a crucial role in creating high-yielding rice varieties that boosted crop output for India's impoverished farmers. Back in 1987, it was Swaminathan who received the inaugural World Food Prize and later established the M.S. Swaminathan Research Foundation in Chennai. He also earned accolades like a Ramon Magsaysay Award in 1971 and the Albert Einstein World Science Award in 1986. M.S. Swaminathan leaves behind his wife, Meena, and his 3 daughters, Soumya, Madhura, and Nitya Swaminathan. Meanwhile, that's all the time we have for you in this edition of Top Stories, ladies and gentlemen, that we brought to you live from our studio here in the National Capital Region, where this jacket has been tailor-made especially for me by Paul Mock. That's all the time we have for you. Lots more coming right on the other side. This is Kabir Naqvi signing off. Keep watching News 9 Live.
Mr. Murthy, 25% of our population is below the age of 15. How do we make them involved in this growth story?
The leadership at all levels, in the country, they have to embrace good values, but it'll still take some time.
I think we are not nurturing and leveraging 50% of our strength, which are the women.
Yeah, one of them has to step down and do that.
If you had donned the seat of chairman, maybe by now Oxford or Cambridge would have had chairwoman as a legitimate English word.
Do a log